Hey guys, welcome back to the 9th episode of the Glide tutorial. We're almost done with the menu. We're about to jump into the game and actually doing the game mechanic. But what we have to do today is we're actually going to be creating the level selection, and that's going to be fairly simple. Going to be a simple episode on that. So we're not going to be spending like 3 like we did on the shop. But yeah, let's just get right into it. We're going to open up the menu scene again. We're going to start by creating a new scene, so that's going to be our game scene. Let's go ahead and press on Control and N to create a new scene. Save this one. This one's going to be called Game. And let's just make sure we put it inside of the scene folder. So here we go. We have our scene. That's all we need. Let's now go back to the menu, and we need to actually assign. Now we need to make sure that when we click on this button, we actually sent over to the game scene. So let's open up the menu scene script. And let's scroll down to the very end, not the very end, but we have the onLevel select right here, which is only a stub function right now. And we're going to put some data in it. So all we need to do in here is scene manager, and then we do a .load scene. And of course, this is not going to work because we have not included Unity Engine scene management. So let's go ahead and do that. And here it is at the very top. Unity Engine scene management, make sure you put it in there. And then we can actually say load scene. We're loading the scene called game with a capital J, I think, or G. Yep, so it has capital G, and then we should be able to load the scene if we put it in our build setting. So let's go ahead and do that. Go under File, Build Settings, drag and drop game right in there. At this point, we should now be able to load our new scene. So if we head over to the level selection, we click on any of those buttons, we are now in the game scene, and the reason I know is because it says game at the very top here. Now, of course, it's missing a lot of things in that game scene, and there is no difference in between level 1, level 2, level 3. So we need to make sure that there is. And the way we're going to be actually making sure there is a difference is by keeping track of which button has been pressed on the other object that is not going to be destroyed on load. So for this to happen, I am going to go on the preloader scene, right click in here, create a new empty object. This is now the manager. And this manager is going to have a script called manager on it. As simple as it might seem, not a network something, an actual real manager script, just like that. Let's double click and hold some information in here. There ain't going to be a lot of stuff in there, but I just want to make sure it's not on the same thing as the save manager. It's going to hold first a public static instance, so we can access it from everywhere. So public static manager instance. It's going to be a property, so set and get. And we're going to assign it in the awake. So private void awake. And then we say instance is equal to this. The only data we really want to be keeping in here is public int current level is equal to 0, and also public int menu focus. And let me explain what these are going to be for. The current level is going to be used when changing from the menu to the game scene. So use when changing from menu to game scene. So we know which one the player has clicked on. All the buttons do the exact same thing. However, the buttons have an index, and we need to keep track of which one he clicked on so we know which level to load, basically. And now the menu focus is going to be actually used the other way around. So this is going to be used when going from the game scene to the menu scene. So use when entering the menu scene. And it's going to be to know which menu we're going to focus. So the whole purpose of this int right here, the menu focus, is to know which menu should we be looking at when we come back from the scene. And that pretty much always is the same thing. When you come back from the game scene, you want to be looking at the level selection menu. You don't want to have to click on the button again just to move your screen towards the left and then click on another level. You just want to be looking at the level selection menu right away. So this is the kind of information the manager is going to hold. Let's also make sure he has a don't destroy on load. And doesn't seem to work right now because I don't have the references. Let me just close that really quickly. And sometimes that happens is the most annoying thing. You just have to reboot your editor. And let's also make sure it has a don't destroy on load so we don't actually lose this object as we change the scene. So we now have this manager. Let's also go back really quickly in the menu scene over to the onLevel select function. We're going to be changing this well, no, we're not going to be changing this, but we are going to say manager instance current level is equal to the current index. So we know which level we're actually loading. This is actually where we set which level we're going to be loading. All right, so at this point, whenever we enter a level, we should know exactly which one we're in. So if we're in level 1, that's going to be showing 0 as the index, and so on. There is something else we need to do. We need to actually make sure we can't go on the level 2 unless you complete the first level. And this is something we're going to be doing in the menu scene as well. So I know this script is getting quite big, but that's also the biggest script we have in the whole game. So like I said, it's about 1100 line, and this script takes out about 500 line. So we still have a little bit to go here, but we're going to get through it. Don't worry about it too much. And let's actually go to the function called initialize level. So where is our initialize level? Here it is. So that's our initialize level right here. Now this one needs to change a little bit since we now have information about it. For every single one of the children's, we need to check, is it unlocked or not? And if it's not, let's put a grayed out color. If it's actually unlocked, let's check, is it completed or is it the one we're supposed to complete right now? And we're gonna have 3 different colors basically. So let's go ahead and do that. Right in between the button and the index increment, I'm going to be declaring a image component. So image img is equal to t get component image. And of course, that is the sprite that we have on top of the button. Now let's check, is it unlocked? And if I is smaller or equal to save manager, that instance state completed level, then that means it's unlocked, but it might not be completed. So let's keep on checking. So it is unlocked, but is it completed? So if I is equal to save manager instance state completed level, then that means it is unlocked, but it's not completed. It's not completed. So if it's not completed, we're simply going to say image.color is going to equal color.white. So that's the normal state. Now we have the else statement in here, so we know it's unlocked, but it is completed. And if it is completed, let's simply say level is already completed. So let's put a greenish color on top of it. So image.color is equal to color.green. And now we know which one are completed and which one is the active level we need to complete. However, there might be another condition right here. It might actually not be completed. And sorry, not completed, but unlocked. And if it's not unlocked, then we need to make sure it's actually not clickable either. So level isn't unlocked. Disable the button. And to disable the button, since we already have a reference up here for the button, all we need to do is say b interactable is equal to false. And let's set it to a dark color. So set to a dark color. Image color is going to equal color.gray. Let's have a quick look at this in the game. See if everything seems to be working just fine. And we have the nice preloader, 3 seconds goes by. We go here, and only the first level right now is unlocked. And of course, it is not completed. No level is completed right now, so we don't see any green in the screen. So what we're going to be doing is head over to the game scene and start cheating a little bit. We're going to create a script that is going to help us cheat. Make sure we can complete the level in only 1 click. So in the game scene, I'll start by creating a new empty game object that is going to be the controller of the scene, or I just like to call it game scene, put it in the center, and we're going to add a component called game scene on top of it. Let's not open it right away, we're going to be opening it quite soon, but I want to create a UI first. So UI, and then let's add a button right now. The button is going to be something that we don't really need to style out. It's something we're going to be deleting very, very shortly. But let's just call it complete level button. So complete level. And of course, it is a temporary button, so don't bother too much about making it look good or anything. It's simply going to be clicked, and then we complete the button in 1 go. We also want to be creating another button, so UI button, and this one, let's call it exit level I'm going to anchor it at the very top right, and then just give it, say, a margin of, we like to do 50 and then minus 50. So minus 50 minus 50, give it a size of maybe 200 by 200. And I just realized that the scaling is all messed up. So let's click on the canvas real quickly, change the canvas scaler to scale with screen size, and put that on 1280 by 800. So we have the same exact scaling in all the scenes. Back on my exit level button, let's make it look a little bit better. 100 by 100 seems fair. I'm going to be deleting the text inside of it and changing the sprite for 1 cross. And now changing the sprite swap, or sorry, the sprite animation to 2 cross, like this. Alright, so we have pretty much our 2 buttons ready. At this point, we just need to create a function to link to that. So let me click on the game scene, put it in the script folder, and let's open it up. We're going to go ahead and start creating our 2 function for our 2 buttons. So the first one being public void and complete level. So complete level is going to be a function we're going to be using in the future as well. But right now, let's quickly just link it to our button. So what we have to do in here is complete the level and save the progress. Really important that we do save the progress. And then in here, we have to reference the save manager and ask him to complete the level for us. It's something that we should actually create a function for that in the save manager. So let's head over to the save manager really quickly. We're going to be writing down a single function. So if we just find a nice place to put it, let's just put it at the end here, and it's going to be complete level. Whoops, complete level right here. And it's going to be a public void complete level that takes in whatever level you're at right now. So int index again. And all we have to do right here is check whether or not it's already complete or not. So if this is the current level, the current active level, let's go ahead and do a plus plus on it. So if state complete level is equal to index, let's go ahead and say state complete level plus plus. And then of course, we're gonna save. Now back in our game scene, we're gonna be using that function save manager instance complete level, and the index we're trying to complete right here is the one we save in manager.instance. And what is it, current level, I believe? Yep, current level. Now by calling complete level, we're also going to save the progress in case we did complete the level, or sorry, a new level in this case. Now once that is done, let's also put the focus, the menu focus from the manager on the level selection. So focus the level selection when we return to the menu scene. The way we go about doing this is by saying manager.instance menu focus is going to be equal to 1. If you guys remember at the very beginning, we had the menus, our 3 menus were split in 2 different ends. So 0 was the center one, the main menu, 1 was the level selection, and then 2 was the shop. Using the same exact number, we're going to be changing the position of the menu when you enter the scene. And then finally, let's exit the scene. So exit scene. This function does not exist. It's going to be the same one we plug in on our exit button. So let's make sure we create it real quick. And here it is. We got to make it public. Really important we make it public because we're going to be linking it to a button. And all we have to do in here is scene manager dot load scene. Again, make sure you include Unity Engine scene management at the top. And we're loading the scene called menu. Alright, so that's pretty much all we need in here, I believe. Let's go ahead and put the function on our buttons. So if we click on the very first button, that's the complete one, the actual cheating button, we are going to click on the plus sign, drag and drop the game scene in there, and then game scene complete level. Same thing for the exit level. Drag and drop the game scene, and then we have the exit level or exit scene button. Alright, so that should give us a very nice little flow working already. Let's have a look in the game. If we click on the first here, then we exit, nothing happens, we're still at the very same state. But if we click on complete level this time, and we go back, this one is now green and this one is now unlocked. And we can just keep on going like this and unlocked all of our levels. And there's one thing missing right here. It's the fact that when we complete a level, I want to be put back on this very menu, not on this one, on this one. So we have to go back in the menu scene and just start coding, just a little bit of polishing again, just to make sure everything is really easy and fluid and fun to play with. We're going to be declaring a new function. So back in the menu scene, at the very, say, over here at the beginning, I'll create a public function called setCamera2. Actually, it doesn't have to be public. Let's make it private. Private void setCamera2, and then int menu index. And what this is going to do actually is the same exact thing as navigate to. So if you guys remember, we have a function down there, and I'll just cut this and bring it to the navigate to. Okay, so here it is. I'll paste my setCamera2 just next to the navigate to, and we'll do the exact same thing. So let's take this code. Okay, so what needs to happen in here is that we actually need to do the same exact thing as navigate to does, but then at the end we force the position of the menu so we don't get any smoothing. It just goes at the place where it needs to be instantly. In fact, that would be a bit stupid to just copy that code. Let's simply say navigate to and then menu index. So we're calling navigate to, and then at this point desired menu position is going to be set, and once it's set, all we have to say is menu container anchored position 3D is equal to desired menu position. And of course we call that setCamera2 at the very beginning of our scene. So let's copy that over. Let's go in the start and say right about here at the beginning, why not? We're gonna say position our camera on the focus menu. The way we do this is by saying setCamera2 and then manager instance menu focus, and now we should have a very nice menu working and actually showing us the one we want to see. So let's actually head over to the game scene. And as you can tell, we see the screen right away. So that's exactly what we wanted, and it's working perfectly fine. Alright guys, so this is actually where we're going to be ending today's episode. I hope you enjoy, I hope you like, and if you did, please leave a like on the video. Also share this with your friends. Help me spread the videos around. Hopefully everybody can get a little bit of this in their life if they want to make games, and it's just going to help them become better and like do stuff and just learn and have fun. And yeah, just click on that video on the screen. I'll see you guys in the next one.